Welcome to Unboxing Logistics. I'm your host, Lori Boyer. Today we have a really interesting episode, kind of a request from some of our customers. You've probably seen in the news lately, there was a big, exciting merger of Sendle and First Mile and ACI Logistics has all come together and formed Fast Group. So we've been having some of our customers ask, what does that mean? What do you need to know as a shipper? And so today we have brought on a really exciting guest. We have Keith Summers, who is now the new CEO of Fast Group. Keith, welcome.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you to EasyPost for having me on your show.
Absolutely. We're going to throw out all the hard questions at you so that everybody, all of our shippers can know, what does it mean? What changes does this involve? And all of the good stuff. But before we even start on that, Keith, one thing that we've been asking our guests this season is the name of a person, or on the flip side, a role in the industry of someone you really admire. And I would love to kick it off by hearing that from you.
Out of grad school, I was in Hewlett Packard for a few years, so I always resonated with the story of starting your business out of a garage. And the founder and former CEO of First Mile, Devin Johnson, literally started his business out of his garage, getting customers, driving his trucks out to pick up the product, bringing it back to the garage, figuring out how to print labels, and then inject those labels into USPS and other delivery networks. So I admired his journey and company so much, I acquired First Mile.
I love that so much because I feel like here in the industry, there are so many who are scrappy, who really are that exact story you're talking about, Keith, straight from the garage. And we have customers who absolutely started that and went huge. We have those watching today probably who may even be in their garage, starting a shipping business, starting a retail business, e-commerce, all kinds of
I
things.
love it.
Love it. Love, love, love it. So let's talk then. We're going to jump over straight to the meat of it. ACI Logistics, First Mile, Sendle, they have merged together. What was the driver behind that, Keith? What was kind of the vision with that?
Well, I think it's important is to give you a little bit about my background so it all kind of ties together. So I come from really traditional kind of old school operational roots. My grandfather and uncle started ACI in 1965. So it actually turned 60 years old this year. I literally, out of undergrad, grew up on the shop floor, dispatching drivers, overseeing routes, helping out with customer service, did sales and marketing and even a little tech. I built this is back in 1998, an access database, which was a precursor to CRMs of the future.
Back when that was like super high tech forward,
Yeah,
everything.
I
Yeah, I love
literally
it.
bought a book, How To for Dummies for access. So I built it. This is before I left the company, and it was CRM and complaint management system. And so after 4 years in ACI, I left. I went back to grad school to get my MBA at University of Southern California, with an emphasis on supply chain because that was really calling to me. And that summer, I had the amazing opportunity to do an internship, again in operations on the shop floor of TRW Automotive Plant in Central Mexico, helping them streamline their kitting and assembly operations. So super cool experience, but it's a continuous theme. Graduated, worked for HP, as I mentioned, for several years in their supply chain group, both in laptops and desktops. So managing RFQs, managing the business relationships with our strategic partners, a lot of travel to China and Europe. And I guess I just got a thing for strategic partnerships. That was kind of what inspired me the most at a global stage, really. So as the story goes, my old man made me an offer I couldn't refuse back in 2002 to come back and run ACI. And it was, at its core, it was a print media distribution company, delivering newspapers, phone books, other things. So when I started, it was several $1 million of revenue. We scaled it throughout the country, got to nearly 100 million. Along that journey, I got my first iPhone and realized I was going to have to reinvent the company.
I was gonna say, phone books and newspapers, Keith.
Yep. So
We're in the future now, so we see what's happening writing on the wall
yep.
there.
So I saw it thankfully coming. And believe it or not, that business was spun off in this merger, and it's actually still doing quite well today, but that's a separate story for a separate day. So we literally changed out the engine of our plane at altitude. I hired our first employee, Kevin Collins, from Logistix, brought him on to build out a small parcel logistics company. And we had, along the way, a couple of mergers and acquisitions of some smaller bolt-ons, and several 100 million parcels later, here we are.
Wow, that is crazy. I love that you have been China, South America, Europe. You went everywhere, came back to your roots, and here we
And
go.
the theme of supply chain operations, it's just kind of been in my blood.
I love that. Actually, honestly, so often people come to supply chain from all kinds of weird routes, and a lot of times it's this big sort of hidden world nobody knows about unless you were raised in it, unless you saw it from the beginning. So I love when we have those people who have really cut your teeth on supply chain from the beginning. That's super cool. Okay, so we've merged these companies. We've got fast. So first, I guess, if you were a customer and have been a customer of Sendle, ACI Logistix, First Mile, what does that mean for them?
So it really comes down to capabilities, and we have this mantra here: better together, delivering more. Legacy ACI focused on the enterprise segment, had high volume sortation systems, really efficient middle and last mile. That was kind of its thing. But it didn't have a real customized pickup infrastructure at scale, or a really robust receiver experience platform. First Mile, their segment was really SMB clients. So they had a really amazing first mile pickup infrastructure, and a really good kind of decision-making routing engine that could tap into multiple delivery networks throughout the country. But they're really missing their own high volume sortation and delivery network, and that consumer experience platform that Sendle has. So as for Sendle, they had this booming platform for small businesses to print labels and to get access to better rates, relative to just off the shelf and rack, and built this amazing consumer experience platform. But we're really missing that enterprise grade sortation and delivery solution. So that was the wow moment. And we'd been working with First Mile for years. They were a client of ours, and we were integrating with Sendle. Just like, what if we brought all these companies together and had a one-stop shop for customers and clients of any size, small businesses, medium, enterprise clients, that could get customized pickup, delivery anywhere to anywhere, ground, expedited, air cargo, combined with great time in transit, really efficient cost position, and award-winning consumer experience. So that was like the wow moment, bringing all that together.
That was a dream, and it actually came true. Because I know a lot of times we think those things. Wouldn't it be amazing?
And it was worth all the effort. It was not easy.
I was gonna say,
Just
it actually
Two
happened.
companies coming together is pretty intense, but three, it's
That's
we're
huge.
right in the first inning of this whole thing.
Okay, so Keith, what does it then mean for the customers of each of these three different, if they were already a customer, what are the impacts?
So they get access to the other previous brand's capabilities.
Okay, just right out the gate.
Yeah, like Sendle can have customized pickup and be injected into the network and get better time in transit, and still connects to their consumer experience. ACI clients and First Mile clients will get access to Sendle's award-winning RX platform. RX, we refer to that as receiver experience platform. Like, where's my parcel? With literally Johnny on the spot answers to that question, and number of self-help and automated and call center support. So at scale, both ACI, legacy ACI, and First Mile clients get access to that capability, which we'll talk a lot more about. And I just want to say one thing: The Sendle RX experience has what's known in the industry, in a lot of industries, it's a customer sat metric called NPS, Net Promoter Score. And a lot of people know what it is, yet whoever doesn't, I'm no expert in it, but there's a lot of customer surveys that go out to clients that use the service or buy a product. And anybody that scores a 6 or less, that's a detractor, and anyone that scores over 7 is a promoter. So you just do the math of all these surveys that come back, and Sendle has a score of 75, which is kind of incredible.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's better than Disney, Apple, Netflix. So that's the standard they've set. So to give all the clients access to that kind of receiver experience, we're just thrilled.
That's amazing. And that's amazing. And for now, their contracts or whatever they have remain the same?
Well, we're integrating everything, and we're integrating the capabilities so we can provide all the capabilities. Whereas the first mile pickup for any of the brands, the Sendle RX experience for any of the brands, access to the delivery network for any of the brands, all at scale. And that's happening as we speak.
Okay, perfect. That's amazing. Now, we are, in the midst already of peak season. You know, that's obviously a critical time for anybody in any network, as you know. How has, what are you doing to make sure that your customers are not going to be seeing interrupted service during this time?
So there was a lot of pre-work that we did. We closed the deal the first week of August. So the very first thing we did before touching anything else was consolidate the network team from all 3 companies to work out the bugs, organize the team around the tools that we had from each of the different companies. Wasn't all integrated yet, but at least get all the team on one page. And then the last month, it's really rebalancing the delivery network to get ready for peak. And we're stabilizing everything literally real time. And we're super excited to deliver a fantastic peak for our clients.
Perfect. Okay, so you mentioned that, you're stronger on first mile, national distribution. What does that really look like in practice? Like, help me understand that from a practical standpoint.
Yeah, sure. So say you're a Sendle client, and now you get this customized pickup at your facility with a branded truck and an employee driver, and you get to know that driver. So you get that initial engagement to really know that there's a human that belongs to the company on the other end of all this. Then that load or that parcel gets immediately inducted into enterprise grade, high volume sortation at speed and precision. And then it gets injected into interconnected delivery network that can really deliver on any different service type, whether it's expedited, ground, air cargo. So all that comes together with the receiver experience. Somebody says, "Where's my parcel?" They get that Sendle RX experience NPS 75. Really, clients of any size can enjoy this now, and we could grow with a client. They could start in their garage, and maybe they're selling yoga pants, and they're going to be the next Lululemon. They could stay with us the entire journey.
That's
So
fantastic.
that was really part of the wow factor as well for us.
How has been merging all your technology? Like, I feel like that is so tricky. Tech is hugely important today. The tech stacks and whatnot. What have you been doing on the technical standpoint to make sure everything's smooth and that goes well?
So we made a lot of changes real fast operationally, but we've been very slow to integrate to one tech stack because it's so sensitive. We did a lot of show and tell pre-close for each tech team. So everybody got a really good idea of what the capabilities were and if there were any gaps, what they were. So we just leveraged for the clients that each client is currently sticking with the tech stack that they were already on. And we will begin that integration of tech post-peak.
Smart. I totally get that. That's awesome. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned so far? Just merging 3 big brands, the whole process, technology, people, processes, all the pieces. What are the biggest lessons you've learned so far?
In grad school, we studied quite a few Harvard case studies about mergers, the pitfalls, the challenges, the failures, the successes. And the one common element that rang true to me throughout all of them was laser focused. You've got to stay focused, and integration can take 18 months or more. So you might think you're done and you're not. So it's really to stay focused on what the primary directive is. So Legacy ACI, I'd been through 3 acquisitions in the last 7 or 8 years. And each one had a very specific purpose. One was to get specific technology, another was to get a certain talent and operating model, another one was to get literally a book of business. So you ignore all the shiny objects because there's a lot of opportunities, and you really stay focused and true to what that core mission is until that box is checked. So that's one of the learnings is, with especially bringing 3 companies together, is to be laser focused. Now it's not just one priority, it's several, but we got to make sure that there's super clarity around those priorities.
You're laser focused on what your foundational
The
goals and
thesis.
priorities
Mhm.
are,
Yep.
and not distracted by, "Wow, that's really cool," or, "Whoa, we could do this." Stick to that foundation. Is that what you're
Yes, and you
saying?
have to say no a lot in the beginning.
Okay. Oh, Keith, not my favorite word.
Not
Okay.
mine either, but hey, somebody we got to do it, right?
Honestly, that's a great lesson for everyone out there watching. Say no. Stick to the basics and the foundation. It is really easy. I think these are actually just great life lessons. These are like lessons from Keith, but stick to what really, really matters. Don't get distracted by the sparklies, and say no where you need to say no. What else have you
Yeah,
learned?
one other, I think this one is actually kind of cool, from a kind of a 50,000 foot level, is there's what I've really learned and discovered just in the last couple months, and I kind of knew it intrinsically, is companies, they have SOPs and processes, but there's really kind of hidden rules of the road. How decisions are made in an organization, how people act, what language they use, how things really get done. And it's really challenging to bring 3 companies together, 3 organizations and cultures together, and like hit the ground running day 1, because people could talk by each other thinking they're communicating. But spent a lot of time that this first couple months is really trying to focus in on what people are saying to make sure everybody else is understanding, and then slowing down to get that grounding before you can speed up. So that was really the first month and a half, is really making sure we're understanding each other, that everybody knows how delivery plans are met in one company versus another, what certain departments might focus on X, Y, and Z, and a department with a similar name and a different company might focus on A, B, and C. And we just need to make sure we level set everything so we can move forward fast together.
I love that you said to slow down so you can speed up. That is so smart and so hard to do.
It's easier said than done.
So hard to I'm a go, go, go kind of person, Keith. I get an idea and I'm like, "Let's do it."
That makes 2 of us.
But slowing down so that when you are going fast, you're not just wrecking. It's not just a wreck. I love that you brought up the culture aspect, because to me and the people part, we got the technology, we got the processes. You've got to merge them all together. And this is true. Anyone who's watching, just if you're trying to work within your own company, if you're trying to align with different departments, all of these kind of things, these lessons that Keith are teaching us are still so, so applicable. But how do you manage that cultural element? How do you, you talked about slowing down and listening, but how do you get everyone else kind of to do that, and to keep that right cultural mix?
Well, it's not easy, and the way I framed it, because there's definitely different cultures with the 3 companies, it's what are the common values of each culture, even if we name them something differently, like to get anchored in that. And the way I framed it is, it's not which culture wins out. We get to come together to create a new culture. Remember, better together, delivering more. Like,
Yeah.
how can we grab the best of all cultures and deliver on a new promise for the company? And we're in the process of doing that. We've sent out surveys to the entire company. There's been focus groups with team leads. So we're trying to build a culture of gratitude, because you cannot, in this industry, probably any, move as fast as we need to go and charge as hard as we need to without really showing appreciation for every individual. So I mean, there may be people that accidentally step on each other's toes, or there's going to be conflict because we're driving towards common goals, as reasonably fast as we can.
I love that, Keith. I've been in multiple companies where people are deciding the values and picking, what it's gonna be, and this is one of the first times I've heard gratitude, and I love it. I mean, gratitude is shown just by research, by studies, all those Harvard Business Reviews you're talking about, they're on the importance of gratitude and the strength of it and the way that it can help you be calmer and more collected and work together well. Fantastic choice.
Call outs all the time in our meetings, town halls, on Slack. It's kind of a glue that's bonding us because we're looking for opportunities to call out awesome behavior or effort or results.
It's perfect during a merger of 3 whole companies. It's so important.
You can't do this without conflict or hurt feelings or concerns. Those are natural. So we just keep coming back to gratitude.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so beyond building your own employee kind of culture, trust, what about customers? So, how are you managing making sure you're still including that incredible customer experience, that no one's falling through the cracks, all of that?
So we've ring fenced each brand, to
Okay.
let the clients know within that brand is still here to support you in the same way. We're going to continue to meet you where you're at. And oh, by the way, we're bringing in new services from this merger, this combined company, and layering those in and articulating the value of these different services. That's really it. And we let them know they'll be tried to educate our clients that there may be changes in the future, but
Mhm.
you're still going to get the best of us throughout the journey.
Yeah, so it's really kind of an exciting era, not a scary era. As you look beyond sort of, I imagine the first 6 to 18 months is a lot of figuring everything out and making sure everything's solid. Looking a little bit past that on your roadmap, how is sort of your consumer experience or consumer expectations? How is that gonna come into play with your roadmap for the future? We get a little secret glimpse?
Well, we've got an amazing product team that's coming together to put a killer um, global product roadmap in front of us, driven by our priorities. But I think beyond that, certainly speed, convenience, sustainability,
Mhm.
those are going to speak loudly to our clients of today and tomorrow. But what I do see is a lot of um, companies that are getting really good at time and transit and driving down prices. So I think that's going to kind of be commoditized. So
Yeah.
we have our own ideas of where we're going to differentiate, in addition to doing what is just foundational, which is
Is
kind of
the
speed.
foundational. We got
Yeah,
that
that's
foundation.
foundational. It's
Foundational, but we got a little sparkly
um,
excitements out there too.
yes, we do.
So it keeps life fun. If you have one reason, Keith, that you feel like people should be excited about Fast Group, just one, that's gonna be hard. One reason that people should be excited and not nervous about Fast Group, what would that be?
Yeah, of course, it's assumed in foundational that you got to have great time in transit, be efficient, deliver the goods on time. But where we're going to differentiate is that receiver experience at scale. So when somebody says, "Where's my parcel?" there's an answer in the way they want to get that answer, whether that's uh, live voice, chat, through email. We meet them wherever they are and continuously update them until they've felt like they uh, have gotten the happy path for their parcel.
I love it. The receiver experience. Fantastic. Okay, we're almost done. I have a couple more questions. First, I want to know what's keeping you up at night? Tell me the truth.
Yep.
You've just launched a brand new company. We've got a crazy market and everything else in the world going on with it is crazy right now. What keeps you up at night? But what also gets you really excited about the future?
There's really two things that keep me up. One are the unknown disruptions, and there's been quite a few the last couple years. There's been some major players that have gone out. There's been a massive overhaul to the postal network with work share products. uh, the tariffs. So we're a nimble company, and we always find ways to kind of reinvent ourselves and extract advantage when there's disruption. But that it always keeps you know somebody in my chair up at night, and should.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think, I interview a lot of people and I hear a lot. Disruption's the norm. This is no longer like oh, we've got this
Yep.
one off. Life just seems to be crazy. So you got to be nimble. You got to be resilient. You got to be flexible.
Then I think just knowing the pitfalls of integrations. Um, but as I said, we really got the team focused on those priorities. We're battle tested as far as integrations. This is our fourth one from a legacy ACI perspective. First Mile's been through a couple, so I've got a team of folks that are up for the challenge and totally committed, locked arms, and making this work. So that's what gives me comfort and inspiration is my team. You guys and girls are amazing.
And is that what helps you get up in the morning, gets you excited, is the people?
Yes. Yeah, just working with my team. I like working with the best.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Any predictions for 2026?
Yes, I do. So as I mentioned before, I think there's going to be more demand for speed, reduced time in transit, lower cost. There's going to be a lot of providers that give that. It's going to be kind of commoditized, I think, at some point. I think there's a huge opportunity for any company that can provide a one-stop national solution for any business segment, customized pickup, rapid transit times with really robust, receiver experience. Whoever can provide all of that, I think, is knocking on the door to success. But what I think is going to define the winner is how good is their receiver experience. That's what's going to win.
What I'm hearing from you, because you talked earlier about the importance of the foundation, not getting distracted, and there's all the integration and your team and everything. But it sounds like to me your foundation is the receiver experience.
That's where we're going to differentiate.
I love it. It's huge, and I agree. And because the expectations are continuing to rise and rise and rise, and people who set themselves apart, yeah, that's really going to be successful. I love it. It has been so great learning all about Fast Group. I'm really, really excited to see where you go and what happens in 2026. Keek, if people want to learn more, especially, you've had 3 websites, and where do people go to learn about Fast Group to stay up with you?
Your show is one good place. We are asking some big questions about branding and how we're positioning ourselves right now. So that will be revealed soon.
Oh, good. Oh, I can't wait. I love branding. That's, part of my wheelhouse. So I am going to be keeping a close eye on that. Can people connect with you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So reach
With
out on LinkedIn. We'll include a link to where people can check you out in our show notes. But it has been really exciting. I think our customers at Easy Post are going to be excited to learn about Fast Group. I know our audience out there has been asking and wondering what's going on with this merger. So there's the answers to your questions, everyone. If you have more questions, again, feel free to shoot them over to me, over to Keith. Keith, again, thank you for being here. Any final words?
Thank you so much, Lori. This has been a pleasure, and the best is yet to come.
Best is yet to come. See you, everyone.